But this is an order, it's an order authorizing Wilson County Emergency Services District Number 3 to contract with appropriate authorities for the provisions of emergency medical ambulance services in Wilson County Emergency Services District Number 1, and other areas as necessary to enter into necessary agreements for same, to take necessary budgetary and personnel actions for same, and to create volunteer or other positions for same. Basically, this is an order authorizing District 3 to utilize volunteers where needed on the ambulance to staff to cover the area that is known right now as ESD number 1, or that was formerly covered by Livonia EMS. This order was emailed out to everyone on Friday, I believe it was. And then of course I've talked to several of you today on the phone. Are there any questions? And again, all this is an order authorizing District 3 to implement a volunteer program to be used in conjunction with paid personnel to cover the area that was formerly covered by Livonia EMS, or also known as, or also covered by ESD number 1.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
So this is uncompensated coverage.
This is just an order allowing us to
Go into that area?
go into that area, yes. It allows the district to go outside of its boundaries to provide a service in the District 1 area that, that's not normally something that you do. And so this order allows that, but then it also allows the district to implement a volunteer program that we don't currently have now. Because, and we can talk about it here shortly as far as what that plan may be. District 1 and District 3 has communicated, myself and Chief
Yeah, I'm
Thompson.
sorry. This is Chris Thompson from ESD 1.
As far
He's
as
the fire chief.
coming up with a plan as to how we plan to make this happen. And so, like I say, if y'all want to discuss that, we can. It sort of goes along with the order as far as the volunteer side of it. Do you want to hear that now, or do we have an understanding? Like I say, do you want to discuss that now?
I know we talked about the order, and what other, are you talking about the ancillary agreement that this
No,
working on?
we're talking
Just
about
the
this
order,
order.
I'm good with the changes that went, that the way it is now.
Everybody good with it?
So we're gonna send an ambulance and a paramedic over there.
Yes. Okay. So, I guess I don't know how much of the speed you've been involved in. I'll just go into it. So, Chief Thompson and I have we've met today again. Carlos has also been involved. Eddie's also been involved in some of the communications. And then the plan that we came up with is the county funds that was contracted with, or that was given to the running EMS to provide coverage for that year, which is $26,500, I believe. Okay. My understanding is that those funds will go to District 3, okay, to fund, okay, as seed money. It is also my understanding, and of course we haven't talked with the city of Livonia, but I also understand that they have also some funds that they plan to throw into the pot there as well for seed money. But those funds would be just that, seed money, okay, to get it started. Whether it's $45,000, $50,000, $60,000, obviously that is not going to pay for an ambulance to go over to Livonia. What that does is it gets the ball rolling, if you may, okay? And so that money will be used to pay for one paramedic, okay? And then we plan to utilize volunteers on that basic level, okay? Whether that be District 1 people that come over and become District 3 people. Under this order, as I mentioned, it implements a volunteer program, or authorizes us to implement a volunteer program. And so all of District 1 EMTs, okay, will become District 3 members. But they are going to be on the ambulance as volunteers at the basic level. You're not going to find a paramedic, really, that's going to volunteer, okay? And so that's seed money that I mentioned is basically gonna fund this for about 6 months. Okay? That will give us enough time, in about 90 days, we should start seeing some receivables there. So in 90 days to 180 days, we'll have to come back to the table and revisit and evaluate how those receivables are coming in. And, you know, in the perfect world, at least what we're hoping will happen here is in 90 to 100 days, those receivables will continue to pay for that ambulance, at least for the remainder of the year. And of course, this is only a short-term plan, a Band-Aid if you may. You know, once we get this ball rolling as far as getting an ambulance over there covering it full-time, then we're gonna need to start talking about a long-term solution. But we'll, you know, let's get the ball rolling this first, and then we'll talk about that.
You said it was housed at the fire department?
District
Have to
one,
be housed at-
District one, you know, not only are they have agreed to assist us with personnel as far as staffing on that ambulance, but they have also agreed to house our ambulance as well as our personnel in Livonia. Other than that, everything will pretty much flow exactly how it is now as far as our day-to-day operations over here. You know, everything from the billing to supplies to, you know, how we provide service. But the financial side of it, again, we're going to be utilizing the seed money between Livonia and the county to get the ball rolling, utilizing volunteers that is going to come aboard with District 3. And of course, we plan to recruit more volunteers, but right now that is our plan. We have already started scheduling these personnel in anticipation of the 28th at 7 a.m. That's my understanding as far as the units that are over there now. That's the time that they're going to pull out. So on the 28th at 7 a.m., we currently have personnel scheduled to be on that ambulance. Of course, that was all pending tonight's meeting. We just didn't want to wait till the last minute. So that is the plan. Again, that is a short-term plan. We'll come back to the table and revisit what the long-term plan is going to be. But that is what the plan is at this point in time.
It's basically one paramedic and one
Basic, just as we do it now.
from ours.
Yeah.
How do y'all think that they doesn't affect us here for ours?
No,
I do.
no, it's not going to affect us with our deal here. I mean, yes, we're going to be utilizing our personnel as far as on the paramedic side or the ALS level side, but the you know, implementing a volunteer program, our paid people cannot volunteer. Okay, and so hence, you know, bringing ESD1 EMTs that are willing to volunteer under our roster, they will then be able to volunteer.
Now, SD1 never did receive tax monies like we did. They weren't like
Volunteer.
10%. I mean, like that guy over there that was running the deal,
You're talking about Livonia EMS?
Lavarnia, EMS.
Okay, yeah, they weren't in ESD.
Okay, they weren't in
They never
ESD.
received tax money, or I mean, they received the county money.
Yeah, but no tax money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I admire you, David. That's the third time he's had to tell that story today. Once to Kay, once to me, once to you. Thank you.
Carlos, can I add a couple of words?
Sure.
Okay. To add on to what David was saying, we had an event in Livonia today, and John Kemple was there, and I'd already reached out to Joe Smitter, who heads the EMS division for the Dutch Department of Health. Have not received a phone call back, but I understand they're at a conference up in Dallas. So I probably expect to hear something from him tomorrow. But speaking with Representative Kemple, we looked at, and I briefly spoke to David about this today, and Chris, about trying to see if we can extend the state's contribution as far as having the vehicles in Livonia for a whatever period of time we can talk them into. So I'll know more about that, I'm sure, between the judge and I tomorrow. I would expect to hear something on that. So it could actually help extend this just a little bit further. But yes, City of Livonia does have a contingency fund that we're willing to contribute into this. As David said, it's a short-term fix to a long-term solution that will have to be developed. So, but in the meantime, we need to get this kind of sutured up so that we know where we're going to go. But thank you for everybody for considering this.
We're all in
neighbors.
That's right. Any other discussion on this? Motion to accept this?
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then, no opposed?